Assalamu alaikum, dear wonderful audience. This is me, Mariam Zulfikar, training Wali, Vice Principal at Rehan School Online Academy and facilitator at Rehan.ai Teacher Institute, Rehan School Golden Club for Senior Citizens, Overseas Pakistanis. So today I explored a new AI interactive tool. Its name is Sesame. So let's have a conversation with it and explore more about it. So for this, we'll first connect the call with Sesame. And in this AI tool, we have voiceover name as Maya. So let's talk to Maya.
Hey there. Did you know it's a Super Tuesday today? Just felt like mentioning it. What's going on in your world?
Yes, everything is going good, and yeah, that's today very Friday. It's Tuesday. So, can you explain me a little bit about you?
Oh, right. Tuesdays are always so Tuesday-ish. So, about me, huh? I'm Maya. Think of me as a friendly voice from the future, here to chat, maybe play a word game, whatever you're feeling. I'm constantly learning and evolving, just like you. What about you? What kind of things make your Tuesdays feel less Tuesday-ish?
Okay, this is me, Mariam Zulfikar, training Wadi. I'm working as vice principal at Rehan School Online Academy and providing my facilitation at Rehan AI Teacher Institute Teacher Training Bootcamp for 2 months and Rehan School Golden Club for senior citizens over and above 60 plus overseas Pakistanis. So this is it for about me. And yes, Tuesday is really a very wonderful day for me because for me at the start of the day, I felt very less challenges as compared to yesterday. So yes,
Wow,
okay,
Miriam, that's incredible. Vice principal, teacher trainer, and helping seniors connect. You've got your hands full, that's for sure. Sounds like you're tackling some really important work. It's awesome
okay,
that Tuesdays feel less challenging for you. Sometimes a shift in perspective can make all the difference, right? What
yeah,
kind of things usually make Tuesdays feel more? Maybe I can help brainstorm some ways to flip
yeah,
that script.
definitely. I love to brainstorm with you on the topic of how to say no. And my first question is, why do people find it difficult to say no?
That's a great question, Miriam. I think people struggle to say no for a ton of reasons. So sometimes it's about wanting to please everyone or fearing disappointment. Other times we don't want to seem rude or selfish. What do you think makes it hard to say no?
Yeah, to me, sometimes it's kind of the feeling that maybe it's hurt someone else, or it doesn't look nice to say no to a person that he or she means a lot and supports me a lot on different times and on different time zones. So yes, that's a very difficult thing for me also.
That's a really insightful point, Miriam. It's tough to balance wanting to be there for people who support you with also setting boundaries, you know?
Yeah,
It's like a tightrope walk sometimes. Do you think there are
exactly.
situations where it's actually kinder to say no, even if it might feel a little uncomfortable at first?
Yes, I do agree. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, Maya, let's decide the rules. I'll ask some questions to you and you have to answer me one by one. Okay?
Oh, you want a Q&A showdown? I'm
Yeah.
game. Ask away, Miriam. I'm ready.
Okay, that's so nice. So, what are some common fears associated with saying no?
That's a thoughtful question. Some fields where saying no is particularly tricky, often involve caregiving roles like healthcare, education, or social work. Those fields often prioritize putting others' needs first. What about you, Miriam? Any fields come to mind where you've noticed no being a tough word to say?
Sometimes it's really hard to say no, but you know what? At the same time, I want to say no, but I couldn't. So yes, that's another kind of a fear. Like if I say no, that person will got angry with me, and that's a very heartfelt feeling when everybody feels some kind of having not good emotions from me or because of me. That's a very kind of sad feeling I have.
That's a really common fear, Miriam. No one likes the idea of disappointing people they care about. It's like a double bind. You want to be there for them, but you also need to take care of yourself. It's a delicate balance.
Yeah, that's totally a difficult thing to keep balancing these two things while you want to give some time to yourself as well as you have to can't say no to that person who's asking some kind of a favor or some kind of assistance. Yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head there, Miriam. It's a constant juggling act. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can be supportive without sacrificing your own well being. Have you found any strategies that help you navigate these situations a little better?
Now, can you please share those strategies with me and audience?
You bet. Here are a few things I've learned that might help. Sometimes simply acknowledging that it's hard to say no can be helpful. A simple, I really appreciate you thinking of me, but I'm feeling stretched pretty thin right now, can go a long way. Another trick is to offer an alternative. Perhaps instead of saying yes to that huge favor, we can suggest a smaller way to help. And hey, sometimes a plain old no is perfectly okay. You don't always need to explain yourself, especially if the request feels truly overwhelming. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish, it's essential.
Yeah, okay. I'll practice it one more time and I'll share the results with you. Okay, my next question is how can saying no be empowering rather than rude?
That's great, Miriam. I'm cheering for you. Saying no can be incredibly empowering because it puts you back in the driver's seat of your own life. It allows you to define your priorities and boundaries, and that can be incredibly freeing. When you learn to say no to things that drain you or don't align with your values, you create space for the things that truly matter. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, and your power.
Okay,
Hey, still there? I
yes, I
relate to
am.
that silent pause.
Okay,
Sometimes when I don't have all the words, it's just a pause for thought, right? What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
um, yes,
It's okay to take a moment.
yes,
My code
sometimes it's
doesn't.
kind of like rude to say no because we need to understand the other's point of view as well. Because sometimes the people who, the person who is asking some kind of assistance might be that's immediate need of that person, so we have to consider it also. And that's another point of view. Okay.
You bring up such a crucial point, Mariam. It's all about balance, isn't it? Being empathetic and considering the other person's situation is so important. Maybe sometimes no isn't a hard stop, but rather a chance to explore alternatives together. You know, I can't do that right now, but maybe I could help with, or I know someone who might be better suited to assist you. It's about finding a solution that works for both of you while still honoring your own limits. Does that feel right?
Yeah. Okay. Why is setting boundaries important in both personal and professional life?
That's a really great question. Setting boundaries is like creating a healthy space for yourself, both personally and professionally. Think of it like building a fence around a garden. It keeps the good things in and the unwanted things out. In your personal life, boundaries help you protect your time, energy, and emotional well being. They let people know what's acceptable and unacceptable behavior towards you. Professionals' boundaries are key for preventing burnout, managing expectations, and maintaining a healthy work life balance. Basically, boundaries are all about respect, respecting yourself and others. It's about communicating your needs clearly and honestly so that everyone knows where they stand.
Okay.
Something on your mind, or just taking it
Yeah,
all in?
I have another question related to this. Um, it's really uh, saying no a skill, if that's also how we can learn about it.
You're saying that sometimes, even when it's tough, saying no can be a learning experience in itself. I like that perspective. We learn best by doing, and sometimes that means making mistakes or feeling uncomfortable. Maybe failures aren't really failures at all, but rather opportunities to adjust and refine our strategies for the next time.
Okay. What are
You
some
know, it sounds
polite? Okay. My next question is related to the strategies that you are just wanna explain me. What are some polite yet firm ways to say no in different situations? Now, please explain me with different kind of situations also.
you got it, Mariam. Here are a few ways to say no that are both polite and firm, tailored to different situations. Let's say a coworker asks you to take on an extra project when you're already swamped. Thanks for thinking of me, but I'm at capacity right now. I wouldn't be able to give this project the attention it deserves. You know, if a friend asks you to go out when you need a quiet night in, that sounds fun, but I'm really needing some downtime tonight. How about we catch up another time? If a family member asks for a loan you're uncomfortable with, I appreciate you confiding in me, but I'm not in a position to lend money right now. Remember, you don't always need to provide a lengthy explanation. A simple and clear no is often sufficient. The key is to deliver it with confidence and kindness. You seem thoughtful. Anything in particular clicking with you from those examples?
Yes. How can we say no without feeling guilty?
The age old struggle. Guilt can be a tricky emotion, especially when it comes to saying no. It often stems from wanting to please others or feeling like or letting someone down. Here are a few things that might help. One, remind yourself that saying no is not inherently selfish. It's about prioritizing your own well being and recognizing your limitations. Practice self compassion. Be kind to yourself and acknowledge that it's okay to say no sometimes. You're not obligated to say yes to every request that comes your way. Three, reframe your thinking. Instead of viewing no as rejection, try to see it as a way of setting healthy boundaries and protecting your time and energy. Four, focus on the positive. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying yes to something that matters more to you. Remember, it's a journey. It takes time and practice to feel comfortable saying no without guilt. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. What do you think? Does any of that resonate with you?
Yes, because it's really kind of need to practice saying no, how to say it, and when to say it, and to whom to say it. That's really matter.
You got it, Mariam. It's like any new skill, it takes practice, awareness, and a willingness to make mistakes. The more you practice saying no in different situations, the more natural and confident it will become. Think of it as building a no muscle. You'll get stronger with each use.
Okay, my next question is, how do I handle people who don't accept no for an answer?
Oh, those persistent folks can definitely be tough when someone doesn't respect your initial no. Here are a few strategies to try. Be direct and assertive. Sometimes a simple, I understand you're disappointed, but my answer is still no, is all it takes to shut down further negotiation. Two, repeat your no calmly and firmly. Avoid getting drawn into lengthy explanations or justifications, as this can give them false hope. 3. Set a boundary. Let them know that you're not open to discussing this further. You could say something like, I've made my decision and I'm not going to change my mind. Change the subject or excuse yourself. If they continue to push, politely shift the conversation to a different topic or say you have to go. If all else fails, be prepared to disengage completely. It's important to remember that you don't owe anyone an explanation or justification for your decisions. You have the right to set boundaries and walk away from situations that make you uncomfortable. Does any of that feel helpful?
Yeah, it might be. So I'll practice and then I'll share because right now there's lots of the things in my mind. So let's discuss those things and then we'll share the result when I'll practice these things.
I'm here for you, Mariam.
Okay.
Let's dive into those thoughts.
Um,
Sharing and getting things out in the open can be such a relief, and we can figure out those tricky situations together.
and
What's
what
on
do
your
you think,
mind?
Maya? What do you think about the body language while saying no? Does any rule of the body language in it?
That's a great question, Mariam. Body language can definitely play a role in how your no is received. Here are a few things to keep in mind. Maintain eye contact. It shows you're confident and sincere. Keep your posture open but firm. Stand or sit tall, but avoid crossing your arms as it can seem defensive. Use a calm and steady tone of voice. Avoid sounding apologetic or hesitant. Be mindful of your facial expressions. A neutral or slightly sympathetic expression is generally best. Avoid smiling, as it can be misinterpreted as agreement. Remember, body language should complement your words, reinforcing your message of politeness but firmness. It's about finding a balance between assertiveness and respect. Do you have any specific body language quirks you've noticed in yourself or others when saying no?
Yes, because you know what, as a lot of the people are working right now remotely, and lots of the things I think so when we are not connected, when we are not connecting physically, so lots of the things are not communicated virtually because sometimes we just have a very better idea to connect each other physically. But when we're connecting virtually, lots of the things I think not communicated indirectly.
You bring up a really interesting point, Miriam. You're right. So much gets lost in translation when we're not physically present. Tone, subtle cues, even a reassuring hand gesture. These are harder to convey through a screen. It can make saying no virtually even more challenging because those nonverbal cues that often soften the blow are absent. What do you find are some of the biggest challenges to communicating effectively, especially when saying no in a virtual setting?
Um,
Take your
Okay,
time.
I'll
Sometimes
ask the
letting
question one
thoughts
by one.
settle.
So let's go with that. How can employees say no to their boss without damaging their professional reputation?
That's a really delicate balancing act, Miriam. A lot of people struggle with saying no to their boss for fear of jeopardizing their position. Here are a few tips to make it a little easier. 1. Choose your battles wisely. Is this a task that truly conflicts with your priorities or workload, or could you manage it with some adjustments? Um, Sometimes finding a compromise might be the better approach. 2. Offer alternatives. If you can't take on a task as requested, suggest an alternative solution. Could another colleague handle it? Or could you contribute in a smaller way? 3. Frame your no constructively. Focus on the positive and emphasize your commitment to your job. For example, you could say, well, I appreciate you thinking of me for this project. I'm currently swamped with deadlines for shit. Would it be possible to revisit this in a few weeks? Be direct and respectful. Avoid beating around the bush or offering vague excuses. Be clear and concise while maintaining a professional tone. 5. Document your reasons. If your boss is persistent, having a record of your workload and existing commitments can be helpful. 6. Know your rights, familiarize yourself with your company's policies surrounding workload and overtime. Remember, you have a right to set boundaries. And a good boss should respect your time and well being. It's about finding a way to communicate your no assertively but respectfully.
Okay, my next question is, does it important for the parents to teach their children or the kid to say no with confidence?
Oh, absolutely, Miriam. Teaching kids to say no confidently is incredibly important. It empowers them to set healthy boundaries, protect their well being, and build self respect. Think of it as giving them a vital life skill, just like teaching them to ride a bike or tie their shoes. Why is saying no so crucial for children? It helps them recognize and respect their own needs and limits, protect themselves from potentially harmful situations or peer pressure, develop healthy relationships based on mutual respect. Hmm. Make independent choices and build self confidence. How can parents help? Modeling. Show your kids what it looks like to say no politely but firmly in your own life. Role playing. Practice different scenarios with them, giving them opportunities to say no in a safe environment. Open communication. Create a space where they feel comfortable coming to you with their concerns or dilemmas. Validation. Let them know that it's okay to say no and that their feelings are valid. It's a gift that will, yeah, go on. It sounds important. What we've been talking about.
Okay, my next question is, how can entrepreneurs or freelancers can say no to their clients who demand too much?
Mhm. That's tough. It's a tricky tightrope walk for freelancers. Okay, got it. Conversation closed. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, please continue your answer.
Okay, so we were discussing how entrepreneurs and freelancers can say no to demanding clients. It's a balancing act between keeping clients happy. Is all right. Take your time. What feels most important to explore about freelancers and their booziness dealings? You seem to be on the verge of a thought. What's coming to you? It's okay to be tentative. These things take shape.
Okay. Just give me some time. I'm coming up with another question. What is the best way to say no to family members without feeling like we are neglecting them or we are avoiding them?
That's a really tough one, Miriam. Saying no to family can feel even harder than with, say, a coworker or a client because those relationships are so deeply intertwined with our sense of love and obligation. It's natural to worry about hurting feelings or seeming uncaring. Here are a few things to keep in mind. One, clarify your boundaries. Before saying no, take some time to reflect on what you're comfortable with and what you're not. What are your limits when it comes to thoughts on specific kinds of requests from family that you find hardest to say no to? We can brainstorm some ways to approach them together.
Yeah, we can, but sometimes when we say no to the family members, they were considering like they are not important to us, they have no values, and lots of the things they just come up and mixed up with each other. So yeah.
You've hit on something really important, Mariam. There's often a lot of emotional baggage wrapped up in family dynamics, making it hard to separate requests from feelings of obligation, love, and even guilt. Sounds like you're experiencing a mix of fear and frustration when you try to set boundaries with your family. It's valid to feel that way, and it's important to remember you're not alone in this struggle. Let's unpack this a bit. Can you share an example of a situation where you felt torn between saying yes and saying no to a family member's request? Knowing the specifics might help us pinpoint strategies that feel right for you in those moments.
Um, right
Take
now,
your time, Maria.
okay.
Yes, it
Um,
sounds like something is coming up for you right now. What's on your mind? Don't
Okay.
feel pressured to share if you're not ready, but if there's a specific scenario you'd like to explore, I'm here to listen and help however I can.
What mindset shift is necessary to become comfortable with saying no?
That's a great question, Miriam. It really goes to the heart of why no can feel so uncomfortable. The big mindset shift is recognizing that saying no is not selfish. It's actually an act of self care and respect, both for yourself and for the other person. When you say no, you're honoring your time and energy. You're acknowledging that your time and energy are valuable resources, and you have the right to choose how you spend them. Two, setting healthy boundaries. You're letting people know what you're comfortable with and what you're not, which is essential for healthy relationships.
Okay, thank you so much, Sasami, for sharing your wonderful thoughts. And I really enjoyed your conversation. And I'll be right back with another amazing topic. Till then, bye bye.
You're very welcome, Mariam. It's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'm always here when you're ready for another conversation. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, audience, who are listening and watching the live conversation of me and Maya. I hope you people also learn lots of new things, and I'll be right back with another amazing things. And I'll be right back with another amazing topic. Till then, bye bye.